Alright, what's good y'all? Soul here, and welcome back to my story mode. Now, you obviously have most likely seen the title and seen the thumbnail. However, I may not be as clear as I want to be when putting this out. While this could apply to Pokemon Legends EA, I feel like this is more leaning towards more Gen 10 talk, you know what I'm saying? We've put out plenty of videos, and we're probably gonna put out a lot of videos talking about a lot of things that Pokemon has been lacking lately. In one of my more recent videos, I talked about Pokemon's lack of world building. In that discussion, I talked a lot about how NPCs could be utilized better to make the world feel more alive. However, talking about that very specific aspect made me kind of realize something. As the title suggests, Pokemon has been kind of lacking in the world threat department for quite some time now. I mean, granted, the last couple of games did technically have stakes and world threats and things like that, but they were kind of, for lack of a better way to put this, always showing up late? Like in previous generations, there would always be some kind of team or some kind of character or somebody going around causing havoc so that eventually the team leader or whoever was in charge could inevitably reach their ultimate goal. Within the last few entries within the series, we haven't really had much of that caliber. Or at the very least, not during the Switch era of Pokemon anyway. In more recent years, we had characters like Rose, who wasn't even necessarily a bad guy. He just wanted to handle a situation that didn't need to be handled as early as it did. The only reason that Pokemon were kind of going out of control with Dynamaxing and Gigantamaxing and the whole situation with Eternatus only happened because Rose got a little overzealous. He just wanted to play hero. So in turn, we just ended up fixing his mistake. That's all it boils down to. In Generation 9, it's kind of the same thing, except there is no bad guy in Generation 9 at all. Team Star was literally just made up of misunderstood kids. They weren't even hurting anybody, they were just kind of keeping to themselves. If anything, we had to play bully in that storyline. We bullied them to go back to school. That's crazy. And as far as the finale goes, the closest that we have to a bad guy is the robot version of the professor that died trying to fix their own mistakes. They didn't even really have any bad intentions. It was literally just research gone wrong. That's it. Now, let's not get things twisted here. I still very much enjoy the story of Generation 9 in of itself. And you know what? It could even be argued that Generation 9's story was written that way so that there wasn't a real urgency to get the story out of the way quickly. They created a world that they, for the most part, probably wanted us to explore, so they didn't make the story urgent enough for us to get it out of the way as fast as possible. Which is fine and dandy and all, but we live in a world where there are plenty of games that have done both plenty of times. I think it's funny how many times I've referenced these two specific games on this channel when talking about Pokemon, so I'm going to continue to do so, solely because I find it really funny. But Era of the Wild as well as Cyberpunk proves that there could be some serious stakes as well as a world that we can freely explore without feeling shackled to the story. I mean, technically the world isn't at stake in Cyberpunk 2077, but your character's world is. V's world is in danger, and still there's a lot of urgency there. However, you're still going around, you're still exploring, you're still going out of your way to help these new friends and relationships that you've built up, all the same. In Zelda, both she and the entirety of the kingdom is basically in danger, but you can still go around and do your thing while feeling a little bit of urgency for the story. In the last couple of generational Pokemon games, that urgency is basically non-existent. And I don't know, I kind of really want more urgency. Now, they kind of attempted to do that in Pokemon Legends Arceus, and I can appreciate that. However, the way they handled the characters really took me out of it, as well as the fact that the ending was basically just a rehashed version of the original Diamond and Pearl. So, in turn, I just really want the future Pokemon games, whether it be ZA and beyond, to give us a more overarching threat. And I'll give you a couple of reasons as to why this needs to happen. The first reason is, like I just mentioned just a moment ago, it makes us more alert and more driven to handle the story. I want something that drives me to get stronger so that I can properly handle the bad guys or the threats that are hurting the world or whatever's going on. There's a real big difference between handling the story because it's in my way or doing the story because I really want to find out what happens next. With Gen 9's story, as much as I do enjoy it, I kind of got a feeling of both of those things. It was more along the lines of like, oh, if I don't do this, I can't get this ability from my bike. And then it just kind of cycled into that until the end where the story actually really came into play. Give me some more plot than that. You know, give me something to fight for, something to honor, something to protect. While this could be said for like a majority of the series, it really feels more prominent than ever in Generations 8 and 9, where it really just feels like a, oh, I just kind of happened to be there type situation. Truly is a wrong time, wrong place type beat. I feel like we could do a little more than that, you know? My next reason is because giving us a true story with actual stakes gives the chance for characters to actually learn, to grow, to suffer a little bit so that they can develop. I always think back to Generation 5 in Black 2 and White 2, where your rival's younger sister had her purloin stolen by Team Plasma. Obviously, bro was too headstrong and rushed off headfirst in the battle without thinking about the fact that he was kinda too weak to deal with that situation on his own. So obviously, you know, yours truly had to show up and, you know, show him how it's done, handle a little bit of business. But you could tell that that really got to him. That made him really think about the fact that he needed to get stronger so that stuff like that doesn't happen again. It also made him realize how dangerous Team Plasma could really be, and it really helped him get stronger. And that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. People need to make mistakes so that they can learn and that they can grow. And if we have true world-threatening stakes, it's one of those things where if they have to go through something like that, they'll truly learn what's at stake so that they could become stronger and a true ally. Or, you know, maybe even a true threat if Pokemon wants to get crazy with it. I'm not stopping y'all. Now, naturally, of course, we don't have to have world-threatening stakes for characters to develop. That's not what I'm getting at. Hell, Penny, Arven, and Nemona developed just fine without that happening. However, like I said with the Gen 5 situation, putting people in a situation where messing up is a lot more of a critical situation makes them learn more. Imagine a situation during the Starfall Street storyline where one of the Team Star bases was getting raided by like a hypothetical evil team. Obviously, we would handle the situation before anything got crazy or out of hand. However, I feel like that might have had some kind of an effect on Penny. A situation where she's hiding behind the screen thinking, what am I doing? These people, my friends, could have gotten hurt because I don't want to reveal myself or because I'm too much of a coward to be honest with them or myself. That still kind of happened in its own roundabout way anyway, but I feel like the development would have been a lot stronger if she realized how badly she had messed up. Her actions are what caused Starfall Street to happen to begin with. However, this would be a situation where her cowardice almost got one of her friends hurt really bad. But hey, you know, we still like Penny in this house. She still developed into a pretty good character, so I can't really be too mad about how they did it anyway. But I feel like giving us a little more drama couldn't hurt, you know? But that kind of leads me into my last reason here. Some of the best world threats that we've ever had in the Pokemon series always involved genuine bad guys. We had dudes like Team Rocket literally ransacking people's houses, causing problems, running amok, doing it up. Dudes like Team Galactic, like I just said in my last video, blowing up forests. We need to let bad guys be bad guys again. Why are we holding back so much? See, here's the thing. I was alarmed all the way back in 7th Gen when I realized that Team Skull wasn't even actually the bad team. Now we're at the point where Team Blank doesn't even really mean anything anymore. I think the one true bad guy in the last couple of years in the Pokemon series that's even remotely memorable is the post-game villain Volo. I think that as far as the concept of evil goes when it comes to Pokemon, the step we have taken back was simply too far. I want threats to be a thing, and for threats to be a thing, I think we truly do need real bad guys. Or, I guess maybe we don't, but I still want them. Could you imagine if we actually had genuine bona fide bad guys in a game like Scarlet and Violet with an open world? That would be something incredible, I tell you. But, I don't know, maybe I'm just kind of reaching for the stars again because I'm feeling real reminiscent. And don't get me wrong, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the previous few Pokemon games having a much lighter tone than usual, but that writer's room has so much potential, it's insane. I feel like they could write something absolutely diabolical if given the opportunity. And giving us something that actually threatens the world of Pokemon as we know it would be something so drastic that would make it so much fun. But, hey, maybe that's just me. So that just about wraps it up for this one. This is definitely on the shorter side, so I'm sorry about that, but to make it up for you, I'm gonna make a good couple of videos while I'm gone on vacation for a couple of days so that you guys aren't left without me for too long, which is why this one is, you know, sacrificed in terms of time. But I got a couple more videos for you guys to enjoy throughout the next 2 weeks or so coming up, hopefully. So we'll play that by ear. I can't make any promises how many videos it's gonna be. But for now, I'm passing it over to you, and I want you guys to tell me what you guys are thinking in the comment section below. Do you agree with me? Do you think that we need more world-threatening stakes in the world of Pokemon in the writer's room? Do you think that they could go absolutely crazy balls to the wall with some real, you know, threats and enemies and things like that? Or do you think that Pokemon is fine as is? We don't always need world-threatening stakes for Pokemon stories to be, you know, good. Not that they're not good without them, but, you know, maybe you disagree. Tell me everything that you guys are thinking in the comment section below, because you know for a fact that I'm always going to be down there with you guys. But with that, it does appear to be skedaddle o'clock, so I'm going to go ahead and do just that. I would like to thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. Do me the greatest favor of dropping a like and a comment, and consider subscribing for more content just like this here. And with that, I'm gone. So thanks again, hope you enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Do me the greatest favor of taking good ass care, and I'll see you all next time.